Hi, everybody. Welcome to the call today. My name is Kara Blattman-Rock. I'm the founder of doTERRA in Israel, and then now I'm in New Mexico creating a beautiful doTERRA community here. So today's lesson is about the Home Essentials Kit. So this is the 10 oils that we really are, all of us on this call probably started with or are getting started with. It's like the 10 basic essential oils that we really feel, and doTERRA really feels, that every home should have and learn how to use. So I'm excited to be doing this call today with a co-presenter, my friend and colleague, Nechama Tovey. I'm going to introduce her and just tell you our story of how we met. So we met in the yoga world with our dear friend and mentor, yoga mentor, Esther Elfasi, who's on the call today. Thank you, Esther, for coming. And Nechama and I were doing a yoga course with Esther in Israel, and we met each other. We're both occupational therapists, and it's funny how occupational therapists are like, they are magnets to each other. They're attracted to each other. So we immediately had a love and an interest for each other. And I introduced her to the oils in that class, and she immediately was drawn to them. And she has been working with me with essential oils now for, you're going to have to remind me how long that's been, Nechama, 5 years. And she went back to school to become a certified aromatherapist. So I'm excited to have her on the call. I myself am not a certified aromatherapist. I've been working with essential oils, doTERRA only, for over 10 years. I want to say it's just under 12 years that I've been using essential oils. My background is Ayurvedic medicine and yoga. And then I'm an occupational therapist as well, not working with it, mostly just working with yoga, Ayurveda, and essential oils. And just a quick story of how I was introduced to it. A good friend of mine introduced me to it. I learned a little bit about it at the Ayurvedic Institute in Albuquerque, New Mexico. They did a weekend course on aromatherapy, not too intensive and not taken very seriously, in my opinion, now that I know what I know now. And then when I had my second baby when I was introduced to essential oils, because I was really looking for plant-based modality or medicine or something to reach for when I needed something for my baby. So like cold, flu, colic, a boo-boo, just upset, not being able to sleep, anything that comes up when you start to have children. I wanted something to reach for that I knew that was safe and effective, and that I could use easily and feel that it was going to do the trick and really work. So I was introduced to essential oils by a dear friend of mine who didn't even have children, but she knew that this was going to be a great thing for me and my kids. And as I've grown with them, I've really realized how important they are for my health, my emotional and my physical health, and my husband's as well. So our whole family uses them. And so today is going to be those 10 oils that I started with, that Nechama started with, and how to use them for your physical health and your emotional health, for your kids and for yourself. We are going to keep this to a 45-minute call. So each oil we're going to, we could talk a whole hour on one oil probably, but we're going to cover 10 oils in this time. So we're going to keep it pretty brief. It is an introduction, so you're not going to learn everything you want to know, but you'll learn a good amount. So I'm going to introduce you to Nechama, and then I'll come back to just the introduction of essential oils, and then she's going to do some of the oils, and I'm going to do some of the oils. So it's going to be really fun. So Nechama, Nechama is an occupational therapist. She's a yoga teacher, and she's an aromatherapist and a wellness educator. And I want you to tell your story of how you were introduced to essential oils.
Like Kara said, I met Kara at one of Esther's year-long courses. We were actually learning yoga for the back, and we connected. We basically did yoga together side by side. I always picked that mat for an entire year, and I wanted those oils. I didn't really know how to get them. Then I realized that one by one, different people in the class were getting oils, and I remember it was in May, I said to Kara, I need these oils also. For me, it all started with an emotional journey. I found that the oils really helped me emotionally. And this has been a 5-year journey where there's been a lot of healing getting done. And I find through my yoga work with women, I'm also a doula now, by the way. I find that the oils are key to helping people get rid of junk from childhood, from years of all kinds of things that are going on in their life. They can let it leave with the essential oils. And that's my story. After about a year or two of working with them, then I started discovering that they really, really work for a lot of basic physical things like coughs, colds, flus, fever, asthma, etc. Pains, aches, muscles. I use them all the time, and they really always help. So back to you, Kara.
Thank you, my dear. So just a quick introduction, and then we'll go over each oil. So I'm going to share the screen because I love this simple page that I can pass on to all of you if you want to see it yourself. And this is just a quick essential oils made easy. So essential oils, what I love about them, because when I was going into wanting to use oils or something to help with small babies, you have to be 100% certain that it's safe. And that's why I was a little nervous about over-the-counter medications and different things that family members or friends or even doctors would prescribe. So here it's easy to do research and see that there's safety in essential oils, but the key is that they have to be good essential oils, therapeutic grade essential oils, or even better, doTERRA's certified therapeutic grade. So it has a certificate of purity and potency, and that it's the highest quality that you can come by with essential oils. So essential oils are natural, they're safe, your body absorbs them and then it excretes them within 2 hours. So it's very unlikely that you would have an overdose, let's say an overdose like you can with over-the-counter medication. They're extracts from a plant. So an essential oil is, depending on the oil, it comes from the leaf, the bark, the root, the stem. It's all plant-based. And then it's extracted in a special way, either steam distilled or cold pressed. And it's pure, it's organic, it's from the earth. Nothing is added to it. And that's why doTERRA has a certification to show those, the world, the science world, the medical world, that it's pure plant. There's nothing else in it. They're effective in the way that essential oils, unlike some over-the-counter medication or even prescribed medication, penetrate the cell membrane. So that's what this picture is here. And viruses, which the whole world knows about viruses right now, viruses hang out inside the cell. So there's not any type of medication that can go in and help the body remedy that virus. The body's got to do it on its own. So the nice thing about essential oils is it helps the body get rid of the virus because it can penetrate that cell membrane, and many oils are antiviral. The viruses don't like them. They will die off when they're exposed to essential oil that is antiviral. And affordable. So many times those of us that are in the doTERRA community, in the doTERRA world, people will say, well, lavender, it's so expensive. It's we're running on all different kinds of currencies, but like in the United States, I think it's $18, and or I might be wrong about that. Nechama knows the prices, but let's say around $19, $20, 19 euros for this 15 milliliter bottle. Why is it so expensive? But the reason the price points are what they are for certified pure therapeutic oils is that what it takes to make that oil, that it takes a lot of plant matter, a lot of people to produce an essential oil. So, and the place of origination is important in the purity and the potency. So there's a lot that goes into making an essential oil, and the price point reflects that. But let's get back to why is it affordable? When it's a pure and potent essential oil, you only usually need to use 1 drop, 3 drops maximum if it's in a diffuser. But let me give you an example. Like, I have used lavender for all 4 of my children for different things that occur on the skin. And we'll go more into lavender when Nechama teaches us about it. But lavender is great for eczema or a rash or a diaper rash. And I've used it for all of those. And a little baby or a toddler that has a diaper rash or a rash going on their skin, 1 drop of lavender in a bath, sit them down in the bath, they play for 15, 20, 30 minutes. And when they come out of that bath, the rash, in a lot of cases, is gone, or it's definitely on its way to healing after 1 drop of lavender. And 1 drop of lavender is, in shekels, it's like half of a shekel. In dollars, it's 25 cents or less. Nechama probably has that figure going on in her head right now. But so it is really affordable, effective medicine. And the beautiful thing about essential oils is it just helps the body do what it already knows how to do more effectively and in a faster amount of time. And the last thing I'm going to say about essential oils, and then we'll go into the individual oils, is there's 3 ways to use them. Aromatically, you can just put a drop in your hand and smell it, or in a diffuser, and there's a picture of a diffuser here. I love the idea of diffusers, especially when people are first getting started, because you put water in it, 3 drops of an oil, everybody's affected by that beautiful smell. And then even if you don't know what you're doing at first, just put some drops in a diffuser and you'll learn and you'll have some positive experiences. So aromatically usually is one of the fastest ways to take it in. It immediately is taken in through the receptor sites in the nose, so it affects the brain right away, and then it moves into the blood and the entire physiological system of the body. So that can occur in minutes. So smelling it immediately affects the mood and the state of mind and your emotions. But then when it enters into the bloodstream, then it's affecting physical issues that may be going on or imbalances that you want to address. And we'll talk about that more with each oil. Topically is the second way to use an oil. That's pretty simple. Like if there's something occurring on the body, a sunburn, a burn from the stove, a skin rash, or you're wanting to maintain your skin health and work with the oils with your facial skin health, then that's when you use it topically. And we recommend diluting the oils because they're very strong and potent, and they have a little picture of our coconut oil that we recommend. And then there's a lot of oils that are blended with coconut oil, and those are called the touch. So be aware of that. Any of the oils that say lavender touch in a roll-on bottle, and Nechama is showing a picture of that, they already are diluted. And then lastly is internally. Not all oils can be taken internally. You want to make sure that if it's doTERRA, then you're assured that those oils can be taken internally. If you get off of this phone call today and you have other oils that aren't doTERRA, don't think that you can take them internally. You need them to either be certified pure, and there needs to be a certification on the bottle, and it says for internal use. So many times essential oils will say not for internal use. So you know that those oils can't be taken internally. But doTERRA's oils, because of their certification, because of their purity, they can be taken internally. Why would you take an essential oil internally? Because you're wanting to affect the internal system, the digestive tract, organs like the kidney, liver, and those types of functions. So that's why you take them internally. And so many times when you get into the essential oil community, you hear people say, um, you can drink your oils. Let's not use that language, because you don't drink your oils. You don't tip a bottle into your mouth and drink it. You will take, like, I have a glass bottle of water and I have 1 drop of lemon in here. That's how you take essential oils internally. You do it very cautiously and carefully, and you don't drink oils. You drink liquids that have maybe a drop of oil in it. So those are the 3 ways you take it. So let's get into the oils, the 10 essential oils that we feel like that we've all learned with, and that every home, we would love every home and every family to be using these oils for their first aid. We're gonna mostly focus on like kind of first aid topics, and then also preventative, like how you use them daily for prevention. So in doTERRA, we have a starter kit called the Family Essentials Kit, and it's all these oils we're going to talk about in a 5 milliliter. And there's one called the Home Essentials Kit. It's the same 10 oils, but it's in the 15 milliliter, the larger bottles, and it comes with a diffuser. So in this kit, there's 6 single oils and 4 blends. So we're going to start with the single oils, and Nechama's going to start. And we'll start with lavender, the queen of oils. We love this oil. So 2 to 3 minutes on lavender. Go, girl.
So I just love lavender. I'm going to start by taking a whiff.
So if you have lavender, take a drop.
Now I feel all calm and relaxed, and I can present. So lavender is the first essential oil that I was ever introduced to. I think most people, if they know anything about essential oils, it'll be, oh, lavender, isn't that an essential oil? Esther Alfasi, our yoga teacher, used to put it all the time on the eye pillows in yoga, and that's what would send me off into a wonderful shavasana, floating up and joining the physical and the metaphysical. And then I learned a lot about lavender. Everyone needs to have lavender in their house, because if you cut yourself or burn yourself on the stove when you're cooking, right away, if you put lavender on your finger, it will stop the process of the burning. See, when you pull your finger away from the stove after you burnt yourself, your finger is still sizzling. It continues to cook. But as soon as you put the lavender on, it starts the healing process and stops it from continuing to burn. So the same goes if you get a sunburn at the beach. You're supposed to come home, take a piece of aloe from your aloe plant. Hope everybody has one. If you don't, I can give you one. Our plant made babies, and we have like 18 plants. And you open up a leaf and you squeeze out the gel, and you put 1 or 2, 3 drops of lavender in with the aloe, and you smear it all over the back, and voila, they start healing real quick. And those 1 to 2, 3 drops of lavender are really cheap compared to buying one of these after sunburn things in the pharmacy for $15, $18. Okay, another thing for lavender. Lavender is a natural antihistamine. That means that if you're allergic to something, you can add a drop of lavender and lemon and peppermint into a cup of water and drink it. And that will help you with your allergic symptoms. And I've done this myself, and it's worked. I'm allergic to being sick. So when I feel a virus coming on and I have to work and I need to be present, I will put a drop of lavender, lemon, and peppermint into a cup of water and drink, and it will hold me for like 3 or 4 hours, just like if you had taken an over-the-counter antihistamine. And then I'll do it again, and it keeps me going, meaning it stops me from getting all inflamed, and I'm able to keep on breathing. So for me, if I'm sick, I actually put lavender in the diffuser at night, and that helps me breathe through the night. Lavender is also very good for calming people and for helping people go to sleep. Lavender is also one of the most highly researched oils to help people with ADHD.
Mm,
Okay, and my theory on that is that because lavender is such an anti-anxiety oil and it helps the calming process, there are a lot of people under the umbrella of ADHD. As an occupational therapist, that was actually my specialty, working with children on the spectrum. When people are anxious, they're unable to focus. So if you're able to calm someone down with lavender and or a variety of other essential oils, instantly they'll have a higher ability to focus. Anything
that makes
else?
sense. That's awesome. Yes. So I'll my little 2 cents about lavender is I love it for, like you said, the antihistamine effect and allergies. So I haven't experienced allergies yet in New Mexico, but if I was in Israel, they'd probably be coming on about now. And exactly that, one drop of lavender, lemon, and peppermint in a little glass of water, and I drink it, and I get relief from my allergy symptoms for most of the day. Then I usually have to repeat it for the afternoon, that same remedy. And usually about after 3 or 4 days of doing it in a row, allergies are gone for the entire season. So I love lavender for that. And just any type of skin issues, lavender's great. Lavender can be sensitive. A lot of people think like it's lavender, it's like it's easy, but it can be sensitive to the skin. So if you are going to put it on topically for a rash or a burn or sunburn, like Nechama said, she uses aloe. So dilute it, and if you don't have aloe, dilute it with some kind of oil, natural plant-based oil. Coconut oil is my favorite go-to, but you can do almond oil or jojoba oil. So
I
that's
have
lavender.
one more powerful story about lavender. We're coming into the winter season where children start getting ear infections. If you have a
Yeah.
child or a grandchild with an ear infection, you know, where they're really hurting and screaming and yelling, and this happened to me, when my baby, who's now 7, was about 2.5, he was screaming bloody murder on Shabbos. And we were like just about to run to an emergency room, but I opened up my doTERRA book and it said, put 1 drop of lavender and or tea tree into a teaspoonful of olive oil and go like this behind their ear every
Nice.
20 minutes. And within an hour, all of a sudden he stopped. He says it popped and the whole ear drained and his fever went down, no more fever and no more pain. And we went to the park and I was like, wow. So lavender really helps with ear infections and
Yeah.
just multi-purpose.
Amazing.
You have to have it in the house.
Amazing. So I think we're going to flip flop, and I'll go to the next oil, which is, I'm going to do a blend. I think I'm going to do breathe, because I think that fits really nicely with like what we're talking about, ADD and allergies. So other thing, you guys, just to remind you, is for those of you that are new to the essential oil community, get a book. We recommend this one. It's called the Modern Essentials. This is the handbook, but they have a big one too. And they have an app. It's called the Modern Essentials Plus app, because again, we can't begin to cover all the many ways that lavender would work for the different things that come up. So you can go to the book or go to the app on your phone, and you can learn more about lavender. You can do it 2 ways. You can either look up lavender and learn about lavender and everything it works for, or you can look up the actual problem that you're wanting to work with, like ear infection or allergies, and it'll name all the different oils that you can use for that and how to use it. So the next one that we're going to talk about is Breathe. In America, it's still called Breathe. In Europe, it's called Air. And this is a respiratory blend. It can only be used aromatically or topically. You do not take the Breathe oil internally. It says in Europe, skincare oil, and I've had people put this in their skincare because it says skincare oil. It's not really a skincare oil. That's how Europe has to label it, so that it'll be approved to enter into all the countries of Europe and Israel. but it's actually a respiratory oil that you smell for respiratory relief. So this, I love this oil. So one drop in your hand if you want to experience it. This can be smelled. So it's really effective aromatically. You can just make your own little inhaler and smell into your hands. And as you breathe out, remember to open the hands so you can let the air out. But it's wonderful in the diffuser. So this oil is really effective for, I love one drop in current times in my mask. Before I start yoga or before I go out and have to wear a mask, I put one drop in my mask. So it makes the mask feel clean and I'm breathing in great, beautiful oils. This has peppermint, ravensara, eucalyptus, lemon, cardamom, and melaleuca.
Laurel leaf.
And laurel leaf. Yeah, thank you, my dear. And so it's really good for opening up the small, small bronchi in the lungs to get more oxygen into the blood and into the body. It's an oil that you would use if you have a cold or cough or asthma or any type of respiratory imbalance. But it also is one that you can use daily. Air is really good for focus. This blend is really good for focus. It's really good for calming down anxiety as well. This oil I recommend, and I've been taught that this is a great oil to use if you're having a panic attack or anxiety or nervousness, because it just calms you down and makes you focus on breathing and breathing in these alerting, positive feeling oils. So it takes you out of that anxiety cycle and brings you into the present moment and into the gift of your breath. So this also is, it just is amazing for everything, but I found this to be one of the best oils for suppressing a cough and helping to relax a cough. And for my kids, when, you know, as soon as they lay down at night, the coughing starts and they can't go to sleep. So I've seen that diluting this, one drop of this, and rubbing it on their feet, so giving them a little foot massage and a little bit on the chest, will stop their cough for most of the night. And then I may have to repeat it one more time early morning before they wake up to keep them asleep. And so that's air. Do you have anything to add about air
I
or
would
breathe?
like to add that air is the blend that sold me on the medicinal benefits of doTERRA essential oils. Basically, all of my children had mild childhood asthma, and I have 7 children. And I only had essential oils for my 7th child, who's a benzacunin, born at age 40. And when he reached age 2, that first winter, when he was already taking food, not just nursing. So that's when they get their first pneumonias and they need the Ventolin. And I come home from the doctor with the Ventolin, and after an hour and a half, 2 hours, he was wheezing again. And I didn't know what to do. It was 11 o'clock at night and did not want to go to the emergency room. And I took out my Breathe. It was called Breathe then. And I'm like nervous because I really respect these oils. They're very powerful. And I take one drop and I mix it in my hand with coconut oil from the cabinet, you know, from the pantry. And I take half of that amount and I rub it on his chest, and it was magic, magic. He stopped wheezing and he went to sleep for 6 hours. And when he woke up and he wasn't wheezing, I know how to listen. There was no wheezing. I was amazed. I thought this kid's going to be on Ventolin for 10 days and we're not going to sleep. And I just applied the air every 4 to 6 hours, just like giving Ventolin instead of Ventolin. And he was fine. And he would even ask for it. And this is just a gift. If anybody has a child with asthma, try the air. You may be able to keep your kid off steroids. Try.
Amazing. Yeah, please. Okay, so Nechama, going over the next oil, you want to do lemon?
Oh, lemon, yummy. Lemon is so user-friendly and so inexpensive. This little bottle costs $11 in the United States and 9.5 euros in the Europe market before VAT. Lemon is good for cleaning. It's good for being perky. It's good for happiness. A little bit of lemon in the diffuser will automatically lift the mood of everybody in the house and will help you be alert and will help you feel happy. All the citrus oils help you feel happy. I like to put lemon on my counter and clean with the lemon. I like to shine up my the stainless steel surfaces with lemon. It makes it shiny, and I'm not using bad chemicals. Back to the lemon lavender peppermint mix, I also use that. I'll put a few drops into a 50 ml spray bottle, 2 lemon, 2 lavender, 2 peppermint, and I'll use this spray for the toilet before and after someone uses it, just to spray around the house so it smells better. And also I'll spray that on my arms and legs before going out to the garden so that the mosquitoes won't bite me. So lemon, though, is one of the top oils for for adding to your water. 1 drop of lemon a day keeps the plastic in your body from accumulating. And this is an excellent oil to help you detox from all the things that we're taking in, radiation from the computers and devices. And if you're, God forbid, eating on plastic, I mean, some of us do this sometimes, we're taking a lot of plastic into our body from eating with a plastic fork once in a while, or just breathing in stuff from the street, from what the cars put out. And taking in a little lemon really can help you. It's something that can help you. It is able to break up plastics in the body. Nothing else can.
Amazing. I love lemon. That's what I'm drinking in my water. I have it a drop in my water right now. So lemon, it's one of those oils that prevention wise, you should be using it every day. If you're not, there are some people that are using the essential oils that they're not ready to take them internally, and that's fine. So put lemon, smell it, because then it's still going to get into your bloodstream. So put it in the diffuser every day. It combines lovely with all the other oils. If you are taking it internally, all you need is 1 or 2 drops in water and take it once a day, and that'll just keep all the organs. It's just one of the best purifying oils. It also is antibacterial, antimicrobial. I carry 1 bottle in my purse, and instead of using so much of the antibacterial pumps that are all over the world now because of what we're going through, I just do 1 drop of lemon, and this lemon's almost out, and just rub my hands, and all the kids take it, and we put 1 drop in our hands, and it's like the best antibacterial, and it's uplifting. A funny little trick that we do with lemon is when we're filling the car up with gas and then the whole car smells like gas, we all put a drop of lemon in our hands and just smell, and it like makes the petrol smell in the car go away. So lemon's just great to carry in your handbag, in your purse. So the next oil, we're on number 4. Let's do On Guard. On Guard. Oh, I thought I had On Guard. Hold on, I got to get On Guard. It's right behind me.
On Guard.
On Guard. So On Guard is a blend, and it's, let's see if I can remember all of it. So it's wild orange, cinnamon, clove, eucalyptus, rosemary, and
you got it.
Did I get them all? Okay, great.
Yes.
And so this is a blend, obviously, and it's a protective blend. We kind of secretly tell everybody it's our immunity blend. And this is a great blend for going into season change, into the winter months in New Mexico. The weather's changing, it's getting cold. And you hear it on the news now, and all the flyers are like, they're just stopping the aroma touch in Europe. I just read they started again allowing us to do aroma touches in Europe, not in the United States yet. And now they're stopping it because the winter months are coming, and they want to just be aware of what the virus is going to do during the winter months. So On Guard is what we should all start taking now, either smelling it if you're not taking them internally, or a drop internally. So there's the On Guard beadlets that are amazing. Like I've already started like having my kids take one a day, every day. If you don't have the beadlets and you're just using the oil, put it in your diffuser every day with that lemon. Amazing. You're going to smell it. Take it in to your entire body. It's going to enter into the bloodstream. So if you're not taking it internally, it's fine, because if you smell it, it'll still enter into your bloodstream and increase the body's immunity, just make you stronger. There's so many times that at when we're leaving a store or leaving anywhere, Americans are so nice, they'll say, you know, be safe. And my acknowledgement back to them is, be strong. Let's be strong. So On Guard is that oil that's going to make you strong and help your body to be strong. Our immunity, the majority of our immunity is in our gut, in our digestive tract. So there is a benefit to taking it internally. And so the beadlets are great. You don't have to taste the hotness of the oil, but you can make a tea out of it. 1 drop in honey, stir it in some warm water, add a little bit of almond milk, a little bit of honey, and you have this healing chai tea. So On Guard I have in every one of my kids' rooms with their own diffuser, and it's going every night now that the season is changing, because that's going to just boost their immunity and keep them strong. If you actually get ill due to just a regular cold or cough, or another virus or any virus, God forbid, taking this internally will just decrease the length of time that you're sick. So On Guard is 100% necessary in your home, and using it now daily until we get through the cold winter months in North America. And maybe you can start taking it a little bit later in Israel, because it's still quite warm there. But when the season starts to change and it starts to get cold, but you can't go wrong with just taking it every day starting now with our current situation in the world. Yeah. Do you have anything to add about On Guard?
Well, I have to say that when I first started getting exposed to essential oils and I tried out that tea on people in my household who were sick, yes, it definitely shortened the virus, any virus
Mm-hmm.
that they had 5 and 4 and 3 years ago. I take On Guard capsules daily. This is preventative to build my immune system. The capsules have in it On Guard and oregano and Melissa. So
Yes.
this is a very powerful capsule. Of course, you can make your own capsules, but this is easy. So I'm just really glad doTERRA makes them. I recommend that everyone, if you're going shopping and leaving your house, or going on a bus or going to the playground and being exposed to any germs, you should be diffusing On Guard in your home in order to help kill virus particles that you bring in with you from outside.
Yep.
Prevention
So,
first.
yeah, there's an On Guard hand spray that I have in my purse that I spray on all of our hands when we kind of double dose on it. We do it before we go into a place and after we come out of the place. And it's really affordable, the hand spray, and it's available in America. I think it's now available again in Europe. So On Guard, one last story about On Guard. Oh, this is Melaleuca. One last story about On Guard is this is one of the first oils that I was introduced to. And, you know, as a woman or a mother who we kind of need to be, our game needs to be on all the time. It's hard to take a break and we don't want to be sick. Is you have, like Nechama said, you kind of have this feeling like, uh-oh, something's happening. I'm getting sick. For me, it's like as soon as when I close my eyes, I feel heat behind my eyelids. And when I know it's kind of a strange little symptom that I get, but when I feel that, if I do the On Guard tea that we recommended, 1 drop in honey, steep it in warm water, add a little bit of milk. If I do that at that moment, I can get it before it starts. The body, it just pumps the body, the immunity up, and I can get rid of that illness before it takes a hold. So, and that's what I love about the essential oils, is if you can catch it in that moment of initiation, you can just boost the body up to get rid of it. So the next oil Nechama is going to talk about is Melaleuca. Its English name is, its layman's name is tea tree, but its Latin name is Melaleuca. We love Melaleuca.
Melaleuca is a really important oil to have. Tea tree. Most people know what tea tree is. I can speak for hours about tea tree, but let's do it quickly.
Yeah.
First of all, tea tree kills lice. So for everyone who lives in Israel, and if you have little daughters or granddaughters, or little boys who haven't had their hair cut yet, you know about lice. There was a study done, I believe in 2005 in Israel, a medical study that went into the journals, and I found it, where they took over-the-counter all those terrible poisons, and they did a study, and they found that those poisons would kill maybe 50% of the lice and 0 eggs. But when they did the smothering method with tea tree oil and olive oil or coconut oil on children's heads, they had a 100% success rate at killing the lice and an 80 to 90% success rate of killing eggs. Nothing kills eggs. This is really important to know. Now, tea tree smells a little strong. On an emotional level, it actually helps get rid of negativity. So tea tree's really grown on me.
I love it.
Okay. This is what you use to help get rid of fungus. It's the first thing you use on toenails. If there are black or green toenails, you put a drop of tea tree on the nails after getting out of the bath, after going to the pool. And then I would recommend adding this tea tree again to coconut oil and smearing it on and letting it sit on the nails so that it slowly seeps in to start eating away at the fungus. Tea tree taken with oregano works synergistically to help get rid of bacteria. And I have spoken to people who have used this method to get rid of strep throat. I myself successfully got rid of a UTI earlier this year. The doctor wouldn't give me medicine right away until she saw the test, which came back 2 days later. So in the meanwhile, I started treating myself with essential oils. I started taking tea tree and oregano together in a teaspoon of olive oil twice a day, and already it was working. So, alongside, I was using other essential oils on my stomach. Oh, that's another story. But I find that tea tree and oregano together is another thing you can do to help make your body very strong. It can kill bacteria and help with protection against viruses. So if you're feeling really sick, you want to take your On Guard tea 3 or 4 or even 5 times a day, and you want to take your tea tree and oregano together twice a day. By the way, though, if someone is pregnant, they don't take these essential oils internally. It's definitely not oregano, and not for children under 6 years of age. And of course, you should be in touch with a doctor to let them know what you are doing.
Yeah,
tea
and
tree
be in
is
touch
also
with
good for
your aromatherapist or your essential oil mentor to help you in difficult situations.
Right. Don't just like take this advice from a video and go and treat yourself. I'm just giving you examples from my own life of how I've helped myself in specific circumstances. However, every single circumstance stands alone. And tea tree is a very powerful thing that you can have in your house. I have used tea tree and lavender together to treat these little viral pustules that pop up on the kids' arms and legs, which it was terrible. I would have to go to the doctor and he would pop them and pus would come out, and then he would put them on antibiotics for 7 days, and then they would have all kinds of stomach problems, and this was happening every 3 months. But then I was introduced to Cara and I got essential oils, and my son says, "Mommy, do you have something? I don't want to go back to the doctor and have him pop them." So I opened up the Modern Essentials book and it said, put tea tree and lavender neat on these pustules 2 to 3 times a day. And you know what? The pustules dried up and they went away in a day and a half. was like a miracle. It was
Right.
just so much fun.
It is.
So,
There's that combination for any skin disorder is amazing. Like for chickenpox, also really great.
and then we're going to be moving on to frankincense. When you put
Right.
tea tree, lavender, and frankincense together, you
Mhm.
have a very, very, very nice mixture for all kinds of skin problems.
Yeah, amazing. So we'll go into frankincense next, but my little take on tea tree, I love it. I love the way it smells, maybe because it's so helpful for so many things. I've just loved it. But it is one of the first things that I grab for me or my kids if they start talking about having an itchy a throat that's starting to be painful. None of my kids have ever been diagnosed with strep because we've always just handled it at home with tea tree first. Um, so if they've had it before, we've worked with it with melaleuca. So one drop in a tiny bit of water, maybe 2-3 ounces of water, gargle it so that it's like getting onto the back of the throat, and then I have them swallow it, and we just do that. um, if it's my little ones, like, well, now all my kids are older than 6, so we do it at least once a day, sometimes twice a day. For my remedy is once or twice a day, 3 to 4 days in a row, and then we assess from there and see if we need to add anything else. And did I have anything else about Melaleuca? Oh, Melaleuca is amazing for any type of yeast infection. You can take it internally to deal with yeast that may be building up in the digestive tract, all the way down to the colon. And it's good for feminine yeast infections. You can apply it topically. You want to dilute it though, because it will burn. Um, and that can remedy that really quick. So any type of infection, internal infection or external infection, Melaleuca is definitely include that in your remedy. So we
One
did
more
talk a
thing
little.
about, yeah?
Go.
One more
I
thing
was
about tea tree is that even though it smells very strong, it's actually very safe and very gentle on skin. It's very
oh,
hard to overdose on tea tree. You don't have to be worried. It's really, really safe. So it's like almost as safe as lavender, actually safer than lavender. People develop sensitivities to lavender, but I rarely hear about sensitivities to tea tree.
right. That's a good point. Tea tree is not. It doesn't really make the skin burn, but lavender can. So you did mention oregano. So do you want to go into we got to move a little more quickly through the oil. So we've covered 4, 5. Now we're on 6. Oregano. So oregano is like the stronger tea tree, right? So go Nechama, oregano.
Oregano is a very strong oil. You have to be,
Oh
for
my gosh.
safety first,
Yeah.
you always must dilute oregano if you're taking it. So if you're taking oregano internally, you do not put this directly under your tongue. You always add it to a drop of olive oil and then you take it. You can add it to coconut oil. I prefer olive oil. It just tastes like salad dressing.
Yeah, me
You can
too.
cook with oregano oil. Just be very careful. You only need one drop in a whole bunch of olive oil or one drop in a soup in order to help make a dressing or make a soup or a pesto sauce really
Right.
taste
And
wow. And
why
when
would
you,
you take oregano?
I would take oregano to help with candida.
Hmm.
If somebody has candida in their gut, then oregano is the first line of defense to help get rid of candida. Obviously, you need to be on a no sugar diet, nothing that breaks down into sugar, so that the oregano can actually get to work and do what it's supposed to do. For fungus on toenails, you would start with tea tree, but then once the tea tree got rid of certain stuff, you would switch over to a blend that has oregano in it. I'll let the oregano get to work on the nails to get rid of the black and green and whatever's going on in the nails.
And
Um,
generally there's some candida in the body if there's some
yes.
nail fungus.
Also, ringworm. If people have ringworm, then you would use a variety of oils, and oregano would always be one of the oils in a combination to help get rid of ringworm. So I saw someone who was like using lavender and frankincense and geranium and tea tree, and she still had a rash. And I said to her, honey, you need oregano. And she said to me, well, how much is oregano? I said, here, just take my oregano. You need it. She
Did she
calls
take
me
it
up to,
internally or she put it topically?
I told her to just use it topically. I think she was pregnant.
Diluted,
You have
diluted,
to be,
diluted, diluted. Yeah,
with oregano is not for pregnancy.
no.
If someone really has a bad case of something fungal on the body and they're pregnant, then they could use it topically, but with caution. It must be very diluted.
And so oregano also, like, for just preventative and just keeping yourself nice and healthy, it's great to take internally twice a year if you do a cleanse, or if you're not into doing cleanses, just knowing, like, taking oregano internally twice a year for a week, for about a week, 7 days. You can take 1 drop in olive oil or take it in a little veggie cap, and it really just helps to clean out the digestive tract, and get that good bacteria growing and and it just kills any type in invading organisms or bacteria, or a buildup of just bad bacteria in the gut and colon. It'll just clean that all out. So it's great to do oregano 7 days in a row for a week in the spring and a week in the fall. So just to give your whole digestive system a new restart, a reboot.
Right. I would
And
also recommend during the winter now, if there's a bad virus going on in your house and people are sick, I would diffuse alongside with the oregano. I would also put a drop of, with the On Guard, I would put a drop of oregano in as well, because
yeah,
the On
it's a
Guard
good
will
idea.
kill some things and the oregano will kill some other things
That's a good
in
idea.
the
And
air.
1 drop so you don't have to smell it too
Right,
much.
because it's very strong.
Right. Okay, cool. That's oregano. So the next one we're going to do is a blend called Zengest. Since we're talking about the tummy and the gut, let's talk about Zengest. So this oil was one of the oils. This will tell you a little bit about me. Like, this was like the oil that brought me into doTERRA, which is like, it's not a very fun oil. It's Zengest. I mean, it's like tarragon, cumin, anise, ginger, peppermint. But like, my whole life I've been dealing with digestive sensitivity and just difficulties ever since I was a little girl. The doctors and my mom were just not sure what was going on with me. My tummy never felt good. I was always not feeling well in my tummy. And as I got older and was on my health healing journey, I was determined to feel good in my belly. And I went to Ayurvedic school and learned their whole focus is digestion. If you have a good digestion, then you're healthy. And that's like, well, I do not have a good digestion. So what's going on? And these were all the herbs I learned about in the Ayurvedic Institute. So, and then here it is, like, it was handfuls of herbs in Ayurveda, which is challenging on a daily basis to take those. But then I found it all wrapped up in this neat little bottle and just 1 drop. So the beautiful thing about this oil is it works just as effectively topically as it does internally. So I found that for me, I like to take it internally, 1 drop in water before or after my meals, depending on when I remember it, because it'll just help me digest my food better. And so I don't feel a sick tummy or bloating or gas or any of those difficulties that can come after eating. But it also are the herbs that help you just use your fuel more effectively, so that you're getting all the nutrients from the food that you're eating and using it as energy for your brain and your body. So, but if you're not into taking oils internally, that's okay. You can apply it topically around your belly or on the bottom of your feet. And there's a reflex point for your digestive organs at the bottom of your feet. It's the arch of the foot. So just a little circle with the oil and the arch of the foot. If you're putting it on your foot, you don't need to dilute. If you are consistently putting on your belly, you will need to dilute it because there's some spicy oils in there that could start to cause irritation around the belly button. And this oil, I have 3 daughters and a son. My son's digestive system, thank God, is strong and as steel. But I do have 2 daughters that, you know, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. They came from me. And so they have those tummy issues. And one daughter has no problem taking it internally, and the other one, I got the touch. So it's in a little roller, and we are rolling it on her belly every day. So, and it's just so beautiful to see this kind of generational healing, I call it, because like I had it, my mom did not, she doesn't know why I had it, and she didn't know how to deal with it. And really the medical system didn't either. You know what they had me do as a young child? Drink castor oil in orange juice almost every day. That causes trouble with your digestive system over and over and over again. But that was their only solution. Um, and now I found the solution that makes my digestive system stronger, helps with the symptoms, but is also healing and creating a stronger digestive system for me. And I can pass this on to my children, my girls that have it, so that they're going to grow and maybe not experience it their whole life. So that's the beauty of essential oils, is just this generational healing and this tool that we can pass on to our children. This effective, safe, and amazing tool. So that's digestion. I love you. Peppermint or frankincense? Do you want to cover next, Nechama?
Um,
Maybe
Whichever.
peppermint?
And then
Let's
there's
do
deep
peppermint.
blue. Well,
Right.
peppermint, sure.
We'll do peppermint. I'll do deep blue, and then you'll do
Okay.
frankincense to end the oils.
Peppermint is your first line of defense to stay awake. If you are a driver and you drive distances, you have to keep it in your car. And if you feel like you're falling asleep, pull out your peppermint and smell it. Or better yet, diffuse it in the car, and it will help you stay awake, like kick you awake like caffeine. You can use this instead of caffeine. You can put this behind your ears. Peppermint is great for stomach aches. It's featured in the Zengest. It's featured in the Air. Peppermint is in a lot of blends because it acts like a driver. It helps the other oils go more quickly into your body. So peppermint is present in a lot of blends because it acts synergistically with those blends. It helps bring blood flow to the area. It helps the blood flow. So it enables the red blood cells to pick up more oxygen. So peppermint is an oxygenator. When you breathe in peppermint, right away you feel the effect going up your sinuses, and right away you're feeling more alert because your blood cells right away are able to get more oxygen going all over your brain and all over your body. So if someone has arthritis or aches and pains and you don't have any fancy creams or stuff in the house, a little bit of peppermint on the area, rubbed into the area, can help get rid of pain because it's bringing more blood flow to the area. Wherever there's blood flow, there's life. So peppermint can help with stomach pains. Peppermint can help with muscle pains. Peppermint helps with alertness. Peppermint helps you wake up. Peppermint is also great to floss with. You can add a drop onto your floss, your dental floss, and floss between your teeth, and the peppermint will go right up into your gums and get absorbed into your body that way. People also like to cook with peppermint. My pediatrician likes the doTERRA peppermint. He adds it to his chocolate ices. And it's just a very user-friendly, happy oil.
Yeah, peppermint. We love peppermint. So peppermint also, I carry it with me in my purse. I do a little drop on my hand and lick it and rub it around my gums. And it's what I do instead of gum or breath freshener, little mints, because it'll freshen your breath. It boosts the energy level in your body. and it's a digestive aid. So you know, oftentimes people chew gum or do some kind of mint right after they eat. Do peppermint instead. It'll clean the mouth, help with digestion of what you just ate, and bring this alerting sense to you, because after you eat sometimes you get tired, so peppermint will mitigate that and help you to feel alert.
It's
And we
also,
love.
it's a numbing agent. If you have a tooth pain, you can put a drop of peppermint
Mhm.
directly on your gums, and it can help you get through the day or two until you get to the dentist for that root canal. It can be a
Please
lifesaver.
God, maybe
Peppermint.
that's not what it is. um
But
okay,
my
then
personal,
right. So then we have one more blend and one more oil, and then we'll open it up to questions. So Deep Blue is a blend in the kit. It has this unique cap because it is
what is
spicy,
this?
and and you apply it. Oh, it's only topical. You can smell it aromatically, but it's mostly for topical use. I love the way it smells. And I dilute it just to make it last longer because it comes in the small bottle, and it's for any type of pain. So I love it for my headaches. I get kind of headache, migraine type headaches, and I apply it to the back of my neck and my temples. You just want to be careful because it will burn the eyes if it gets into the eyes. And I apply it every 15 minutes until the headache goes away. I found that this is my best remedy for headaches, tension headaches slash migraine headaches. But I also do a lot of yoga, and sometimes my hips get sore from all the forward folds. And so I have this in the roller form, and I apply it to the little hip creases there to help with any inflammation or pain that's caused from just doing a lot of yoga. And it's great for growing pains. I have one child that had growing pains, and it immediately works for growing pains, and it would help her to be able to go to sleep without pain. And Deep Blue's just must have for any type of muscle, joint, headache, pain. And the last one's frankincense. And I'm kind of rushing us through this one, but I want us to get to frankincense because it is the best oil, one of the best oils. And Nechama, go for it, frankincense.
Okay. When I initially met frankincense, we did not like each other because it has a very strong smell. Now I understand why. Frankincense, first of all, frankincense is the king of all oils, right? It's the king or the queen, it's the king.
Probably queen.
Frankincense is present in the ketoret, the korban that the Kohanim would bring in the temple. And frankincense basically opens up the aorta of your brain so that you can think. It's good for people with memory problems. What it does is it joins the physical with the metaphysical. So you become connected to your true self when you use frankincense. So that's on an emotional level. I often use frankincense like this. At the end of an hour and a half yoga class, I apply a drop of frankincense to the third eye center in order to help everyone have a really amazing shavasana. On a medicinal level, frankincense is a natural anti-inflammatory. I started adding frankincense to my mikveh bath before going to the mikveh, and I found that I would come out of the bath feeling invigorated and with a lot of energy instead of feeling tired. So I recommend to people that if they're not feeling well, to add frankincense to a bath. And that's a
Mm.
way to take frankincense in aromatically and topically. Frankincense is safe with babies and with the elderly. Basically, lavender, frankincense, and geranium are the three oils that are the safest to use with babies. So frankincense can be used to help with breathing problems. You can layer it with Breathe. It's also good for joint problems. It's good for pain. It's a natural anti-ager. So it's good for skincare, for helping to get rid of blemishes. I've used it synergistically with tea tree and lavender to help get rid of a psoriasis patch that I had on my hand for years. I also used frankincense on my parents. My mother actually just fell. She goes walking at 6 o'clock in the morning. They basically are really on lockdown. She fell and she hurt her knee. And I told my father to put frankincense on her knee, and she told me it felt better. I said, of course
Wow.
it felt better. Really nice frankincense story. So I can talk about frankincense for a very long time, but I just gave you emotionally, metaphysical with physical, having a spiritual experience, a connection with the divine, with Hashem, with God, with the universe. On a physical level, natural anti-inflammatory. If you want to help keep your body strong, you can use this. I take this sublingually. I didn't take it yet today, so here we go. Under the tongue, goes right into your bloodstream to create an anti-inflammatory effect in the entire body. And to I also have used frankincense personally to do breast cleanses. What is a breast cleanse? Today, 1 in 10 women are at risk of developing breast cancer. There are about 15 people on this call, 1.5 people can develop breast
Goodness.
cancer in their
Yeah.
lifetime. So it was recommended in the book to use frankincense topically, 4 drops neat on the breasts, massaged in for 30 days straight, helps get rid of irregularities going on in the breasts. And I personally have experienced this, where I've had lumps and things that didn't make so much sense, and I was abroad and didn't have time to go to the doctor, and I just used it. I went to the doctor after the summer, perfect mammogram, no problem. My little lumps and irregularities went away. So every summer I try to do a 30-day breast cleanse, and I recommend that all women do this. If you know, it's just a good idea to do.
Amen. I'm going to do that. I'm going to totally do that. I agree with everything Nechama said about frankincense. It was the second oil that really was important to me, along with the Zengest, is because it has anti-tumoral properties to it. So I used it on my face because I have a history in my mother's side of skin cancer. So I use it daily on my face. It's the Touch form that has coconut oil. So I add it to my skincare routine and put it on my face. I love the idea of doing the breast cleanse with it and doing that, and taking better care of my breast health with frankincense. I'm going to do that. That's a great recommendation. And exactly, you nailed it on the head with frankincense. Best anti-inflammatory, so add it to anything that you're doing for respiratory health, and just if there's pain going on, add that to the deep blue, add frankincense to it. Amazing for your skincare health, so add it to your skincare. And yes, taking it internally will help just bring inflammation in the body all the way down. And inflammation in the body is what can lead to all the other types of imbalances and illnesses that we can occur. We totally went over. I'm going to end the recording. I love you all. I'm so glad that you're on and that you're part of the essential oil community. You have joined a movement that is safe, effective, and really brings your awareness up in how to take care of yourself, how to be aware of your emotions and your health, and solutions that you can use effectively and safely to keep your emotions balanced, to keep your physical body strong, and to work with whatever comes up, knowing that you're going to use a plant-based medicine that really is effective and safe. Nechama, you're amazing. Thank you for being on. Stay on for questions. I'm going to just stop the recording. Bye.